Half the time it only streams half a frame. I can't tell. I have it on 480p. And the network's supposed to be okay, so I don't know. Look, science. Ooh. What's that up to? 55 or 45? Oh, the screen wants to dim itself. That's no good. The drip rate's a little fast. It's not GeoCities. I lied. I turned that off. I didn't know. I thought it would give me the option to change stuff. Here, look. Oh, I can't get it in the microscope. Also, there's chat covering up the microscope, so I can't even see. I swear to God, if I bump this setup and I knock the electrode out and lose my recording, I'm going to shoot somebody. Metaphorically. I think it's in there. Ah, that's a brain. Or part of a brain. I have to wait for this thing. Ah, the screen keeps wanting to dim itself. That's really irritating. I need this. Oh God, the chat's covering up the screen. I can't see what I'm pointing at. I need this to get bigger over time, and it is kind of, I'll have to see. So far, this one's promising. Can I change quality? No. No, I don't think there's an option in this to make the screen not want to dim itself. I guess it's probably in the phone itself, but I'd have to go into a menu to turn off brightness, and that might break it. Unless there's an option in the pull down. No, there's not. Alright, whatever, I'll figure it out. So anyway, that's gonna run for like 54 minutes. I've got more ACSF and our new drug. It might flicker, I don't know. This is streaming into Twitch on a phone. I don't know how this works. That's kind of it. If it runs like trash, I don't think I could fix that. What's encoders? No, that seems to work. I could save this. I don't want that. How do I hide this? Is it the back button? If I hit the back button, it might go away. How do I close this? Oh God. Oh, it is back. Hey, now it made the chat transparent. That's useful. I'm gonna put my cursor here so I know where it last was. Hooray. There's not a monster in the room, there's just the brain slice. See, the thing is that, like, if you do a... Oh, the chat's not transparent anymore. That's a shame. If you do a pullback here, it looks really impressive. Like, wow, science, yeah! I might want to rotate it. I could. But now the chat's 90 degrees offset. Let me see. If I put rotation on. Oh no, it was on automatically rotate, and it was not doing that, so... Yeah, I don't think this does 16 by 9. Also, I don't know where the microphone is. There's two holes at the bottom of the phone. One might be a microphone, maybe not. I don't know. Yeah, I had the day off. Well, technically, I guess I have the day off because it's Martin Luther King Day, and it's technically a federal holiday, and then around 7 o'clock, I felt guilty and felt like I should go into work and do some experiments I'm behind on, so that's what I'm doing. Ooh, ah. One of our banana clips broke, so then I just put a crocodile clip on it, and there you go. Jank that up. Actually, I could probably turn that stim box off, because I'm not using that. I took that slice out, it didn't work. I was working hard. Oh, actually, I was going to go into the dissection room to show you my brain slices, but there's a dead mouse in a bag that I didn't put away, because normally we put it in our freezer. But, our freezer is that now. It's not plugged in and it doesn't work. Right before the holidays, our freezer broke, and like our that's our minus 40, I think. It broke and defrosted, so we called the janitor over. You know, hey, our fridge is broken. Can you come over and do something about this? And they didn't do anything. They came over and brought a mop and a bucket and then left. And I was the only person there working until, like, I don't know, 4 in the morning. So I just had to sit there and babysit the freezer as it defrosted and flooded. Also, it looks like I've got horrifically bloody hands, but no, that's just phenol red, which is in that. The problem is, our phenol red solution, this stuff, it's a dye. I used up the rest of the stock and nobody made more, and I was kind of lazy, and I'm the only person who uses phenol red at the moment, so I've just stopped using the solution and just been tapping a couple of little granules into my solutions. It's just there for an indicator. If it's purple, it's not oxygenated. If it's orangey, it is oxygenated, so that's great. I had first class email in high school. I thought it was great, because you could see if somebody opened your email and then let them know that they're garbage for not responding. You know, I should have charged my phone up all the way and then plugged the power pack into it so I'd have 2 batteries instead of just having a phone half dead at like 20% and then plugging a battery pack in, because this is gonna die in like 20 minutes. Oh well, how's this going? Well, it's bigger. The cursor's where it used to be. I don't think the fiber volley got any bigger, so that might be a good experiment. That's running out of liquid though. Which is weird, it's not actually running any faster. So let's see, that should have taken, what's that at now, 35-ish, that should have been about 17 minutes. It's currently at about 11 minutes. I usually listen to music in the lab. There are crappy, like, $10 lab speakers, but I unplugged it when I was turning the stream on. I did it for you. If I top this up, am I gonna have to add more drug? Yeah, probably. What's that at? 30? Let's top that up to 60. Yeah. Then we're gonna have to add more drug. Ooh, oh wait, where's my P1000? I lost it. It's over here, I think. There's a micropipette tip in my mouth, which is not sterile, but whatever. What drugs are we making? I mean, it's published already, so I guess it's not confidential. Oops. Hang on, I gotta use another. Right. Yeah, so ketamine is being looked at as a potential antidepressant, but the problem is you can't give ketamine to people all willy-nilly because it's ketamine and they'll go crazy and then get addicted and then be addicted and crazy. So it was found that a certain ketamine metabolite has similar antidepressant properties, but without a lot of the... Did the stream go down? If the stream went down, I can't do anything about that. Let's see. Encoders. No, it doesn't seem like I dropped frames. Hello? There, whatever. And a certain metabolite exists of ketamine that, has similar antidepressant properties, apparently, but without the negative effects of ketamine. Also, apparently, this metabolite of ketamine does not have the same properties, which is to say it's apparently not an NMDA receptor antagonist like ketamine is. So that's what I'm doing. I'm poking electrodes in certain bits of the brain and washing in our mystical ketamine metabolite. You can't see the label. Or actually, you probably could, but whatever. It's already out there. It's already published. So, whatever. It's fine. Look down the hall. It's still Christmas, theoretically. Look. Air. Which... Oh no. I thought we were running out. But we're not. That's good. Look, there's a mouse. There used to be 3 in there. Now there's only 1. Hello. Ta-da. Yeah, he ate the other 2. If I turn the camera around, there's the remains of one of them. What happened to the others? Well, I turned one of them into brain slices. And the brain, unfortunately, came out of the mount, so I didn't get that many good slices. There's maybe only like 2 of them there that I could use. Cut mice. I already did. See? They're in there now. And then the vibratome is not draining. Again. Oh, I just saw the dead mouse that's sitting in a bag over here, so let me not point the camera at that. That'll drain itself eventually. Oh, the pipette I was going to use to unclog it is not in this room anymore. It doesn't smell like anything. It smells like a lab, which is to say not bad as much as it's... Oh, hey, hello. It's just kind of there. What you need to understand is that all labs, like, forget what you thought labs were like based on biology class or anything. You know, maybe in industry and in clean rooms and everything, it's different, but every lab is a mess, period, the end. That's how they always look. They're just a mess. Floors are dirty, everything's just kind of like there, half labeled, half not. That thing that needs to have the needles emptied one day, but I don't know where to put them. They've been like that forever. Do I wear hair caps on my shoes? No. We should. We don't. The lab, animal facility, or any of that doesn't really get a whole lot of safety, anything put on. Hey, it's potentiating. That's supposed to potentiate by 200% thereabouts. It's maybe at about 50. That's not bad. That's a good start. I don't know. I mean, there's not a whole lot to do. Do I wear a lab coat? There's one on the door if I wanted. I kind of don't. Those lab coats haven't been cleaned in years. God. I feel like I'm dirtier putting the lab coat on than without. I've been tempted just to take them home and wash them all. But I don't know. But yeah, I don't think those have ever been washed. What about safety glasses? I don't even know where they would be. I couldn't even tell you where safety goggles would be. I don't think any lab I was ever at here has ever had safety goggles. I'm trying to think of the last time I wore safety goggles, and it was probably an orgo lab in college. Do I wear any safety thing? I'm wearing a garbage t-shirt. back when I worked in summer camp and I was 14, which has held up better than most of my t-shirts. So if this shirt gets burned off in a chemical fire, I guess I'll survive. You know, the streaming app seems to work way better than Periscope does. It's kind of impressive. Where's the eye wash station? It's in the hallway. Somewhere. How am I the same size I was as I was 14? Actually, this shirt's an extra large and it's far too big for me. But yeah, I know the email said GeoCities. I lied. Does the buzz... Oh, the buzzy sound? That's the pump. Because it's, sucking up liquid. That goes through here, into the slice, through which it's drained, into the back. And then that fills up and I have to spill it myself. Yay. You know, that's actually a really clean recording, too. Normally you get, like, a bunch of crap on it. Like this, you get a pop spike or something on the way up, which is bad, because it means this slice isn't very healthy. But actually here, it's pretty straight, or smooth. There's a little inflection point there, but that's fine. There's not like a mess. No, this is Clamp X, Clamp Fit, and all that good stuff. It clamps. It's like a current clamp. It is a current clamp. See? The voltage responds. Oh, no, that's bad now. That'll probably go away in the next trace. Let's see, the voltage changes in response to a change in current, which the experimenter controls. How many people work in the same room? Theoretically, up to 2 or 3. But that station hasn't worked in forever. And this station sort of works, but it's not great, because that box over there is kind of bad, and sometimes you have to smack it before it actually does anything. No, I'm not actually published on anything, because everything I do doesn't work. Is ClampX open source? No, it's not. Ooh, my battery pack is steadily depleting itself. Uh-oh. I'm down to 1 bar. Yeah, oh, you can't really see it. You kind of can, actually. Here we go. I have to poke electrodes in a thing. Actually, I only got a copy. I got a copy of ClampFit in college because I just made up a fake university and put fake information in, and they said, oh, here you go, here's a download. Which, I mean, I don't know. Whatever. All I needed to do was just... Like, I didn't need the devices, I didn't need the digitizer or anything. All I needed to do was just analyze data, so I think that's technically free. Somebody in my lab told me, oh, hey, you can actually just get a free copy of ClampFit without stealing it. I didn't know. Also, the crunchy sounds, that's the vacuum pump. See, that solution comes in, down through here, blah, 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 in here. This is a drain adapter, which I put on to make it drain faster. It doesn't actually work, unfortunately. It goes into the first chamber, which is connected to the back chamber through a tube underneath the acrylic, and then that crunchy noise you hear is that adapter in the back sucking up liquid. And then I got bored, because a lot of things in this are held together with Play-Doh, so I made Play-Doh art. I made a bunch of little cubes and rectangular prisms, and then they got squished by somebody, and that was upsetting to me, but whatever. Technically, I had 2 slices in there, but the other slice died, and I couldn't be bothered to leave it, so... Yay! It works. Happy Tim. The first one worked, all the other ones didn't, which is a shame. No, I'm telling you. See, the thing about science is that you read about it in class, you see news articles, everything looks clean and professional, and then you realize like most labs are just kind of hacked together with a lot of weird half solutions. And especially EFIS stuff, because look at that. It's just a mess of things just everywhere, and that's fine. Like, that's how they all are. But the thing is that if you want real solutions for a lot of these problems, they will cost a lot of money. So we just come up with, like, semi-fixes. Like this. Like, I mentioned this before. So, this has a banana plug that plugs into the stimulator. And the banana plugs look like this. You might notice this does not have a wire on it because it fell off. So now, one has a banana plug into the stim, and then that's an alligator clip that's just hanging on to the busted edge of the banana plug. And whatever, it works. Electrons can go through it, sort of. So technically, this one's not even in use, but I'm afraid if I turn it off, it might screw up the recording on this, which is now getting dirtier. That's got to be straight. It's all getting bumpy. Yeah, well. But that mouse is more or less demarcating, maybe a little bit lower than where it started, so technically it's supposed to be about twice as big over the course of an hour. It's getting there. Theoretically, I guess. But, there's really not a lot to show off. There's a lot of sitting around. Theoretically, I could probably set up another thing over there, but I don't really like that station all that much. Am I going to dissect a mouse tonight? I already did. I don't know if I'm going to do 2. Probably not. I'll save it for tomorrow. It's a lot of effort. And it's kind of late. But the pipettes we pull are just stuck in Play-Doh. I don't know if this has a name. We just call it the cutter. That's just the broken chunk of a razor blade stuck in. Where's the 90s rap? I mean, I could set my Surface up and have it play music, but this stream's probably not going to go forever because my battery's dying. Am I alone in the lab tonight? Who else is going to be in the lab at 11:30? Also, I have a PCR running in another dude's lab. And I have to go and get that. I'll probably run the gel tomorrow morning. I could run it today. I think I had MLK Day off, but then around 6 or 7 p.m. I felt guilty for not going into work and getting stuff done. So I decided, yeah, I'm going to work, I guess. So here I am. Maybe everybody else was actually here during the day and they were all wondering, oh, where's Tim? But it's a federal holiday, I think. What do I do for work? I do this. What am I genotyping? It's a knockout for the drug that we're using. It should have the site of action for our drug removed, so theoretically the animal shouldn't respond. I've tried to get this PCR to work for ages, and it doesn't. And I don't know what the problem is. I don't know if the primers are bad or what. I think I found the problem. I hope. I think the annealing temperature for our primers they gave us was too high. I think they said in the protocol I got it should be 61 Celsius, which is quite high for an annealing temperature. Typical PCR primer annealing temperatures should be like 3 to 5 degrees Celsius below the melting temp of the primers. And my primers are 55 and 58 degrees for melting temperature, respectively. So I'm running it now at 54 for annealing instead of 61. So I hope that works better. Because, I mean, that might be the whole reason my PCRs weren't working at all, because the annealing temperature was too high, and they never actually annealed, ever, and that's why I never got responses. Do my superiors tell me to do things? Or do my superiors tell me that things are supposed to work just to mess with you? I don't know. I was getting, like, no results on this thing, which is potentiating quite a lot, but I really don't like that pop spike, but whatever. I was getting null results on this for ages, and I was thinking, you know, maybe they just gave me, you know, a placebo drug. Maybe this is just a blind study, and they didn't give me the real compound, and it shouldn't be working. And if I found that it were working, I screwed up. But now it's working, so I don't know. I can't say that anymore. Theoretically, they should have given me the right compound, because they said they're going to blind me later. Honestly, it's not a very good example of a pop spike, because a pop spike looks spiky. I don't know if I have any traces that I could show you that are pop spiky enough. Because I got pretty good at eliminating them after a while. This is all the work I've done. There it is. All the times. Oh, Christ. So the date on the computer is off by like 6 days or 3 days or so. So this looks not quite right. But you can see it's like, oh, I'm getting data at 5 in the morning. Because I can't budget my time at all. Am I required to teach? No, we have no undergrads here. Which is fine, because I feel like if I had to teach undergrads, I would just feel bad. I'd feel jealous of my own misspent college years. I don't want to teach you bastards, you and your youth. Get out of my lab! How are my computers not on NTP? I don't know what that means. Should I know what that means? A pop spike is it's an artifact. A pop spike is... Yeah, ew. Oh crap, I moved the mouse. Now I don't remember where it started. I think it was about here. Network time protocol. No, this is not a network computer. That is not a network computer. None of the computers in this room are networked, which kind of sucks when you have to... Actually, no, wait, I lied. That one is. This one is not. What was I going to say before I forgot? Oh, yeah, so a pop spike, it's an artifact. It could be due to a few things. The slice is dying, your stimulation intensity is too high, or what I found cleans it up the most is your fluid level in here is too low. That's actually pretty high. See, what people like to do, which I hate to do, because it drives me up the wall, I used to record, or I used to put my electrodes in the slice when the fluid level was really low, because that's good for me, because the slice doesn't float around. If it floats around, it's hard to put the things where you need them to be, because it's constantly moving. So what I would normally do is keep the fluid level low so it's sitting at the bottom and you can just poke it. Problem is, then the slice dies and you get pop spikes and the cell is just seizing up and firing not in a synchronous manner, and that's no good. So, what people like to do is keep the fluid level really high and then use a harp, which is this thing, and I hate this thing because you're supposed to put this on top of your sample to pin it down, but then you have to get the electrodes, like, between the little bits of string on it, and they're always exactly where you need them not to be, and it drives me nuts. So what you can do, I mean, you're not technically supposed to do this, but it works and there's no reason not to, is that you put the fluid level really low, you pin it down with the electrodes, and then you raise the level. So then you could have a nice high fluid level like that, and the slice doesn't go anywhere. So that's good. And that, I don't like that pop spike, but the slice is probably in the process of dying. But that's okay. I mean, it's not ideal, but we're only after this part. This part, not so much. Like, it's fiber volley, which is representative of the number of cells that you're stimulating at the given intensity, because that will increase if you run more current through it, and then that's the response. Technically, that's the response, but you can normalize it to the slope of this and say that's indicative of the response, so whatever. No, the pop spikes are unrelated to the harp. The pop spikes are just due to a lot of factors. If you get really big responses like that, I've found that you also get pop spikes a lot. It's due to a bunch of factors, and you do your best to control them. They don't always work, but whatever. Man, our floors look dirty over the camera. I guess they are kind of dirty in reality. I didn't know that they had Twitch broadcaster things for mobile. That's really neat. Normally Periscope would have blown up by now. I wonder if my phone is overheating though. No, it seems okay. I gotta get a new phone one day. A big chunk of the touchscreen on this thing doesn't work. I don't know what theory control is. Is that a thing I'm supposed to know? Does it go under another term? Or am I just an idiot? No, yeah, showercast, exactly. Twitch IRL in the shower. I mean, my life is in the shower. I have an LG G2 from 2013? I think? No, 2004. No, wait. I graduated in 2014. I got it in December of 2013. Yeah, so that's like a 3.5-year-old phone. Year-old phone. It works. I like it. It's got a good form factor. It's just old. I'm waiting until they put the new phone processors out, and then I'll upgrade, because I don't want to get something new and then have them put something out in like 2 months. Yay! Look at that. Look at that potentiate. That's almost 200%. If you count the mouse as approximately where it started. And the fiber volley didn't change. Oh, my phone stopped working. There it goes. If you have a field mouse, you just have to pick it up by the tail. Most mice don't have a... not a writing reflex. What is it? There's a technical name for it, and I forgot the name of it, but most mice cannot climb and right themselves if you hold them by their tail. Black 6 can, which is the mice that I usually use. I wanted an LG V20, and then I went to the AT&T store and found out they want like $800 for it and would give me $20 in trade for my current phone. It's worth more than that. Oh yeah, no, it's a lab notebook. It's pens and stuff. Don't look at my... Actually, there's really nothing there to look at. What's the random cylinder on top of that computer? What? Liquid on the cylinder. Oh, that's ACSF. That's artificial cerebral spinal fluid. It's got a similar ionic makeup to the cerebral spinal fluid in a real brain, theoretically. So that's the pink stuff that's in there and is running into my slice, and I just have that over there to top it up when this runs low. Yeah, C57 Black 6. Can you drink it? Yeah, well, sort of. So you can drink it, because I mean, all it is just like sodium chloride, magnesium chloride, and calcium chloride, and sodium bicarbonate, glucose, magnesium sulfate, and I think that's it. I might have forgotten something. But the problem is this has got drug in it. This has got antagonists for GABA A and B receptors and NMDA receptors, so you probably don't want to drink that. I don't know if it's actually toxic to consume any of that. I'd imagine a lot of it gets broken down into your in your stomach, but it's probably not what you would want to try. But yeah, it's apparently just like Gatorade, but saltier, says the one person in my lab who actually drank some of it once. It looks red. That's good. No, there's nobody here. I checked. What's still alive? Oh, the person who drank it? Yeah, they're fine. I think. I mean, I don't know what they were like before they drank it. Maybe they're not. Maybe there's been a radical shift in personality. Nobody told me. Yeah, I don't know. There's really not a lot to look at. Or maybe there is, if you don't come here every day. Well, I can unvertical record it, but then it's just not better. Then you just have to rotate your monitor. I guess the thing is that if you don't have any context for any of this and you're not here all the time, this looks incredibly fascinating, but when you're not, and when you're actually here on a regular basis, it's just, yep, here's my work. This is what I do. Can this run Oregon Trail too? Yeah. Dude, you're getting a Dell. Is there a vending machine? There is, but not where I work. Also, it's a really loud computer. To the point where I took it apart because I thought it was full of dust or something given the shape of the rest of the floor. It's not. It's just loud. For whatever reason. So that sucks. But that's actually potentiating quite a lot. Which is good. Because now I can have a result to show somebody, and I would not have gotten this if I didn't come in on MLK Day, so hooray. Is this one of the top 200 broadcasts? I just want to hide. I don't want people to be like, oh no, Tim's disgracing science. I don't want a professional science man to come in here and say, wow, you're doing the science wrong. That's my fear. But, no, I'm not going to replace the fans. I can't be bothered. I mean, it's a lab computer. Is this an Optiplex 980? No, it's an Optiplex 960, which is maybe worse or better. I don't know. Then that's an Optiplex 580, and that's, I don't know. That's something that we bought from some local company. It has an i3. Huh? God, the delay on this is super bad. I just see everyone now saying you're doing bad science. Hey, look at that potentiation. That's like almost... That mouse is almost at the halfway point. Oh, but the fiber volley got really big. Oh. That's not good. The fiber volley should be about, given where it started, it might go down on the next sweep. I don't know. Nah. So the fiber volley should be about 2 of those lines big, and it's getting a little bigger than that, and you have to normalize it to the slope. So if the fiber volley gets bigger, the fact that the slope increase doesn't actually mean anything because it cancels out. Yeah, it's definitely getting bigger. Well, it's still got like another 15 minutes in there, and I'm kind of running out of ACSF. The drip rate's a little high. Technically, it should have been a mil a minute. It's like a 1.5 mil a minute. How many mice have I killed? Hundreds at this point. Wait, how much is this? That's 120. Hang on. I gotta add more drug to this so I can keep the concentration right. Sometimes I reflect on my murderous past, but I never actually, no, wait, if I put this drug in there, I'm gonna have to clean out the whole cylinder. Let's not do that. Let's just put the drug directly in. Maybe hundreds was... Hey, the fiber volley went down a bit. That's good. That'll work itself out when it's averaged. Hundreds might have been an exaggeration, but at least 100. I was not happy. I'm not happy to do it now, but I remember initially it was like, hey, can someone come over and kill this mouse for me? I don't want to do it. And eventually they're like, no, look, you have to do this. But the other lab I worked in, not this one. Oh man, so this is gonna sound awful. And in some respects it is, and you're gonna think I'm a terrible human being, but I can't say it's well, I guess it's sort of my fault. But it's how it goes. The other mice we had to euthanize because we had to work on the cochlea in another lab I worked in. And dude, you dissect a cochlea out of a mouse in the ear, it's so small. You have no idea. And the problem is it's also attached, oh Christ, I forgot how difficult this was. It's attached to more anatomy and you have to peel it off under a microscope in liquid. And if you grab it or touch it at all, it just gets crushed completely and then you can't use it. It is the most tediously difficult thing I've ever done. When we did that, these were really, really young mice, like 2 or 3 days old, and they just got decapitated with forceps. So, I was not happy to do that at all, which is why I resisted doing that for so long. Now we the thingies. We anesthetize them, then decapitate them. No, I haven't had to perfuse anything yet. But yeah, I was really not happy to... Hey, look, the fiber volley is about 0.9. It's between those two lines, and it's about twice as big, so that's great. Good data for everyone. But yeah, that was the first time I'd worked with animals, and the first lab I worked in animals with said, Tim, I need you to cut this mouse's head off with a pair of scissors. So that's my introduction to science. Ta-da! I swear I'm not a monster. I make up for it with all the tofu I eat. Do I see myself in academia? I don't see myself at all. I don't know where I'm going. And this worked out fairly well, pretty quickly in the experiment, which is good. But yesterday I was here doing this, and it was so irritating because none of it worked at all, and I couldn't make it work to save my life. So I just went home angry. And then I remade new ACSF solutions today, and so far it seems okay. I don't even have a proper decapitation tool. I can show you the guillotine we have for mice. Mouse-shaped guillotine. Every time I use it, I'm always paranoid I'm gonna cut my finger off. I haven't done it yet. I guess it's good I've got 10 in total. 9.5. Nah. They're mostly all here. See? Look, fingers. Fingers stained with phenol red because I wasn't wearing gloves like an idiot. Ideally, I would have had 2 working slices in this so I could have gotten twice the data at the same time, but I don't. The other slice didn't work and I couldn't be bothered to fix it. 9 more minutes on that, then I get to wash it out and do it all over again. Yeah, it's a mouse guillotine. I could show you. Somebody sells... Look, there are companies, I found this out, and it was somewhat surprising, although it probably shouldn't have been. There are companies that just sell equipment more or less for making mice miserable. Either like behavioral things for like forced swim test or tail suspension, or learned helplessness and shock boxes. All they are just companies that make stuff to just piss off mice. I mean, I don't want to show you the mouse guillotine. I mean, I don't give you a bad impression of science. I want you to think it's an honorable institution and not an institution that just tortures animals. Because then you're going to have a bunch of animal rights activists come in and go in the animal facility and let all the mice free and ruin everyone's years of experiments. I'm researching antidepressants because the current ones don't work. I can tell you that by experience. In fact, I've had so many and then stopped because they didn't work that they're not giving me any new ones anymore. Which is somewhat weird. They pretty much said like, oh, we need to make room for the people who, I don't know how to phrase it, are more likely to benefit or something. It's like we can't schedule you for these appointments anymore, so it's alright. I could go elsewhere and find somebody to do that, but, yeah. I can't be bothered. I don't think they're gonna work. Regardless. Yeah, mix it with the ACSF and it goes down easy. That pop spike got bigger. And poppier. Could I have something besides major depression? Really, really major. Treatment resistant. That pop spike is not... whatever. It got bigger. That's another rig. That's an oscilloscope nobody uses. That's a poster. That's another thing. That's a pipette puller. It's cool. It pulls borosilicate glass tubes apart into electrodes. That's a meme. I don't know why we have this here, but we do. I thought I heard somebody in the hall, but nope. Do mice get depression? Not in the normal sense, because depression is a purely human condition. Mice can be assessed to be quote-unquote depressed through assessing anhedonia, which is the lack of interest in pleasurable stimuli. If mice are anhedonic, they are considered to be depressed and then can be subject to our drugs. But no, you can't really assess depression through that exactly. Science. I should plug this battery pack in. It's on the verge of dying. Man, that floor needs to be vacuumed. Yeah, I should put a CAD lost meme in it. Yeah, They would get that. That's hip. Is it easier to test anhedonia or test neurotransmitter levels? Anhedonia by far. To test neurotransmitter levels, you'd have to do microdialysis, which you don't want to do microdialysis. You can do I don't remember. I don't remember what it's called, but there's a way to quantify serotonin because something it spits out an electrode or an electron when you something, and then you can measure a change in current, which is then representative of serotonin concentration. But I don't remember exactly what it was called. With any luck, that'll be done. That'll drain all the way through, and it's been 60 minutes. That's good potentiation. I'm pretty happy about that. Hooray. I don't like that pop spike, but we'll survive. You'd need to clamp their brain. You'd probably have to kill them. Well, no, fMRIs aren't neurotransmitter. fMRIs are just blood flow, and the thought is that it correlates with activity in that brain region. You can use an fMRI to prove anything, and they do. People just use like, oh, here's fMRI. How's this person's brain different than this person's brain? I don't know, put them in a machine. And like, yeah, you could do that. It doesn't necessarily mean it's good science, but you could do that. Do I ever have a desire to push all the buttons? No. Because I'm terrified of screwing it up and not knowing what it should be set to. I don't even know where half these wires go. Actually, no, I guess I probably do.